Don't you think I feel it? I can't do any of these vile things, and I wouldn't want to. My life is like death. My children are the spawn of hell, and you're the devil. Oh, God.
Hello, hello. I'm Katie, and welcome to Retromade, your pop culture rewind. Let's take another trip down memory lane. Today, we travel back to December of 1987 to discuss my favorite Kurt Russell movie, where he joins his real-life partner in the comedy gold, that is Overboard. I'm excited to have Doug Greenberg joining me today, and Doug is a fellow Last of the Action Heroes Podcast Network host, where he hosts Rocky Minute, as well as some flagship network, Stallone Gems with Ryan and Craig. Doug, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Katie. This is an honor to be part of your little journey down memory lane. I love it.
Oh, thanks. Well, tell us more about your shows and when we can expect some more Rocky Minute.
That is the question, isn't it? My main show is Rocky Minute. I've been doing it for, I think we released season 1 in 2017. So we've been at it for a while. What we do is me and my co-host, we're going through the Rocky Minutes, analyzing 1 minute of movie time each episode. A few major life events happened right around the pandemic in 2020, and it stalled production where I'm kind of dripping out episodes of Rocky 3 as we speak. They're not coming out as frequently as the first couple of seasons were, but they're coming out. Anybody that's wondering, Rocky Minute is still a thing. We're still going, and we're moving forward. That's all I could say.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
As of the other ones, I like you said, I co-host Sylvester Stallone Fan Podcast Network with Ryan and Craig, and we do Sylvester Stallone movies in one-off episodes, and we're kind of going through his whole filmography, good and the bad, little by little.
Yep. I love
and
it.
Also, I appreciate that as well. Also, I'm with Seco, another Last of the Action Heroes host. We're doing the Arnold podcast where we're doing select Arnold movies.
That's right.
Yeah.
I just haven't heard an episode lately, and so I had kind of forgotten about that, but thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, we're coming back, I think, this fall with another block of episodes.
Awesome. Let's maybe get into the retro frame of mind by opening the time capsule from December 1987. I gotta say, I think that 1987 might be the best year of the 80s for this type of nostalgia. It's maybe the best 80s year.
Yeah, I'm a total 80s kid. Yeah, born in 78, so I lived most of my life through the 80s. So this, I mean, when you do these episodes, it really like hits home for me because I love the nostalgia part of it because I lived it, And yeah, 1987 stands out. I was 9 years old, and it was just like it was a monster of a year for like movies and just pop culture and everything.
It was, and as we'll get into the TV lineup, the cartoons, like everything, and the movies. 87 was quite the year. We did already cover the Dirty Dancing episode. We covered a lot of stuff from 1987 in that episode, but I usually do these like what was happening in the month of the movie's release. So this might be like slightly different. The 87 to 88 season for prime time, the top shows. I mean, it's just a stellar lineup. The Cosby Show, A Different World, Cheers, Golden Girls, Growing Pains, Who's the Boss, Night Court, Murder, She Wrote, Alf, and The Wonder Years. I mean, those are all awesome shows. What were you watching?
Yeah, definitely. I was big on Alf.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I loved The Wonder Years. Cosby Show I watched a lot of. My dad was big on Cheers, so I saw a lot of Cheers kind of like a secondhand, just being in the room while it was on. But I think Cheers was a little grown up for me at the time. I didn't appreciate it as much.
Yeah.
But watching reruns now, I get it, I know you're a big Golden Girls fan, right?
Oh my God. It's so good. Did you watch it at all? Or no, probably not.
maybe here and there, but it wasn't on my radar as much.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, Who's the Boss and Growing Pains? Those were like two families that like kind of epitomize the 80s sitcom for me, in
Oh,
addition to the Cosby Show. But man,
yeah, I
I loved
forgot
those.
those. Totally. Samantha Maselli was my first crush. Alyssa
Oh, I can
Milano.
see
Yeah.
that. I can see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I really liked Tony Maselli or
Yes.
Tony
I
Danza.
can,
I
I
mean,
can imagine. Yeah.
even as a kid, I guess I really liked those Italian guys
Yeah.
for some reason. And the
Never
theme
Frank Stallone,
songs.
though, huh?
No, 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 no can do. Speaking
All
of
right.
Ryan, who I do the Rocky Show with, he has a Rambo podcast. So Doug is referencing his Frank Stallone coverage on that show, which is
Hmm.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, you're
But
about to
yeah,
say the theme songs.
yes, the theme songs, the 80s, like they just don't make them, like they don't do it like this
No.
anymore. But 80s sitcom theme songs that's where it was at.
Yeah. And they're so famous and so like well known that they've been spoofed 100 times, but it's,
That's true.
I mean, they were every single, I mean, Cheers was legendary, but you take like the Growing Pains where, the character throws a football to the other one and then stands and looks at the camera with his arms crossed. You know what I mean? It was like before their name
Yeah.
card comes up. It's just goofy theme songs and like opening credits. But I love it.
It w
Love every
I
minute
do
of it.
too. I mean, and it is kind of cheesy, but I like it. It was like a simpler time. Obviously,
Mhm.
maybe because we were kids, but it just seemed like the 80s were simpler. We didn't have the internet yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
Definitely a simpler time. Now I see what my kids are involved in nowadays, and I'm like, they're growing up way too fast now. They
Yeah.
have access to too much.
Yeah, that's hard. Thankfully, I don't have the human ones. That's gotta be
Yeah.
hard. But speaking of kids, well, you were 9, so you probably still watched cartoons around this time or not? Were you more into
Yeah.
wrestling?
No, and I know wrestling is a sticking point on your show too.
Mhm.
But I mean, I was such a fair weather wrestling fan. Like I knew the
Okay.
guys, but I wasn't sitting in front of the TV every Saturday morning watching wrestling matches. I was more of a cartoon kid.
Okay. Yeah, same. Same about wrestling. But the cartoons, 87, man,
Hmm.
Care Bears, Pound Puppies, The Real Ghostbusters, The Flintstone Kids, Muppet Babies, Pee-wee's Playhouse, which,
Oh yeah,
RIP to Paul Rubens, who recently passed,
yeah,
Smurfs,
pour some out.
Fraggle Rock, Alvin and the Chipmunks. So those were some of the big shows. Were you watching those or something else that you remember
Yeah.
maybe in the
Well,
mid to late 80s?
as far as like the contemporary ones, I was watching some of those. Not so much Care Bears or Pound Puppies, but
Hmm.
um, definitely Fraggle Rock. Or some of the other ones you just said.
Flintstone Kids, Muppet Babies, Pee-wee,
Muppet
Smurfs.
Babies, Pee Wee, yeah, for sure. Smurfs, yes. But
Yeah.
the bigger thing that I was into was like the Looney Tunes
Oh, like
cartoons
the after.
eh, from like the 30s and 40s, like those like old
Okay.
school ones. I
Those
watched
were those
those
on after
religiously.
school? Were those or when
They
were
were
those
on
on?
they were on early in the morning on school days. So
Okay.
I would wake up early, sit in front of TV with my little bowl of cereal, and I
I
would watch
love
Looney
it.
Tunes. They were on
Yes.
early Saturday mornings.
Okay.
After school was like that was like the GI Joe and Thundercats and stuff. That's when I remember watching
Okay.
those.
So the was that also like Tom and Jerry and uh or Roadrunner and stuff like that?
Yeah, Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Foghorn Leghorn, like all those characters.
Okay. Yeah.
Tom and Jerry was a different studio, but they ran in the same channel and time blocks and stuff.
Okay. What bowl of cereal were you sitting on the floor like in front of the TV or on the
Yeah.
couch?
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah, yeah.
there was like across the living room from the TV was a couch. I would sit on the floor back against the couch.
Yeah.
It was usually like Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes, something loaded with sugar. You
Oh
know
my
how it
God. I
is.
literally just bought Captain Crunch like
Yeah,
this
Captain
week.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm so ridiculous. It's so bad that I still eat cereal, but I love it.
No, don't feel bad because I mean, like you said, I got kids, and if they see one bowl out of the box of cereal, they're lucky.
Oh, really? I kind of assumed that you wouldn't eat
Yeah.
like sugar cereal. Aren't you like a fitness and health
I
guy?
I I am, but well, Actually, I'm doing a lot of sympathy eating now because my wife is
Oh,
pregnant.
oh, well, that
So
good for you.
I,
That's nice of you. I love
so I'm
that.
doing a lot of I'm doing I'm doing a lot of that. But also, even when I'm trying to stay fit, I'm 45 years old, so I'm not entering any bodybuilding competitions. I kind of just live for like a healthy lifestyle, but
Hmm.
I'm not going to deny myself life's joys. You know what I mean? So we go out for ice cream every couple of weeks or once a month, and I'm not going to count my calories like that stringently.
That's good to hear. You're like a normal human being then. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Try.
Yeah, I like that. I try. Not probably not as much as I should, but I'm eating some cereal and vegan ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't deny yourself, those little joys in life.
I agree. I agree. It's like the few things that we have in our
It's
world
moderation,
today.
right? Just
Yeah,
yeah, just like everything in life. Everything's okay in moderation.
agreed. Okay, so since we kind of covered 87 a little bit, I wanted to bring something that we didn't talk about already in the Dirty Dancing episode, which is the fashion from
Mhm.
1987. The 80s fashion was, I mean, I wouldn't say great, just memorable maybe. So for women, this was the late 80s, generally speaking, not necessarily just 87. Mini skirts worn with tights, pantyhose, leggings, or slouch socks. Do you remember slouch socks?
Sure do.
Oversized t-shirts and sweaters and stuff worn over leggings or stirrup pants. That was the worst. Stirrup pants were terrible. I don't know whoever came up with that, but that was bad.
Is it the
Cropped
the band
jackets.
that went
Yeah.
under your foot and
And then made it like tight, but they weren't like tight. It was a bad look.
yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't recall those as much,
You
but
don't? Do you have a
not
sister?
those. Not an older I have a younger
No.
sister.
Oh, so she wouldn't have.
She's more of
Yeah.
a
Too
90s
young.
kid than a 80s
Yeah.
kid.
Taffeta and poof dresses were big. So I'm picturing like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper
Mhm, mhm.
esque. The shoes and accessories. So Keds shoes and Sperry shoes. Brightly colored shoes with thin heels. Narrow multicolored belts. Berets. Lacy gloves. Beaded necklaces. And plastic bracelets. I can remember all of this.
What about the
And then,
shoes with the different colored laces, the fluorescent,
oh,
shoelaces?
I had a pair of like high top LA Gear that were like
Yeah, yeah.
neon pink and green. And then
Mhm.
yeah, the shoelaces. Did you have different colored shoelaces in your shoes too?
I didn't, but I distinctly remember that being a thing back then.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I
Hair.
I was such a nerd. Wait till you
Well,
hear what
I
I
will
was
get
wearing
to the
back then.
men's stuff. I can Yes, I have questions because we're still with women's stuff. Bangs
Right.
with headbands or a ponytail and a scrunchie and side ponytails. So
Side
I'm
ponytail.
at this time, what am I? 5? 6. I'm 6
80s.
here. I'm
Mhm.
6. So side ponytails, I totally rocked a side ponytail big time. Okay. According to my research for men, those parachute pants were big. Like the
Mhm.
MC Hammer
Just
parachute pants. Do you know what I'm talking
oh,
about?
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember those?
I but nobody really wore those style. Did
No?
we
Or the
the parachute pants that the guys wore back then were called Zubaz, and they
Well, you called it pronounce it again?
Zubaz?
Zuba? We called them
Zubaz,
Zubas,
yeah.
but yeah. Yes, I
Zubaz.
remember
Oh, yeah,
those
yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, but they
Uh
were very brightly colored. The most comfortable thing you could put on your body. They felt like pajama pants that you were wearing outside.
How would you describe how those are? I remember them being like animal print almost, the ones I saw,
Yeah,
but were they
yeah.
not
Either animal
necessarily?
no, they I mean, you think it back of, the 80s, just like a really cluttered,
Yeah.
scene of, shapes and swirlies and lightning bolts and stuff. Or you could get like a sports team that had the New York Giants logo
Oh,
100 times up and down
yes.
the pants,
Yes. Just very obnoxious
Yeah, yeah.
looking.
I don't know if you remember Joey Buttafuoco, really
Yeah, I
brought those
do.
into the limelight.
Yes. And your girl Alyssa Milano was in that made for TV movie about them,
Oh,
right?
Amy Fisher. Yeah, yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
She played Amy Fisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're talking 90s though. We better back it up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Did you have
Mhm.
Zubas?
Yeah, I had like one pair that had Giants
Okay.
logos all over them, but I mean, my family didn't care to splurge on things just because they were hot in fashion.
Trendy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a mullet? Apparently mullets were a thing
Y-
in the late
Sad
80s.
to say, it wasn't like one of the really long in the back ones, but it was like actually it kind of resembles more like the mullets that are in style now. That was just like really bushy in the back, but everything else
Yeah.
was short.
Okay.
So it
A
wasn't
mini
like down
mullet.
past my shoulders or anything. Yeah, I had like a mini mullet.
Okay. Wait, is
Yeah.
your hair curly or was it like curly or
Yeah,
sort of?
it would get curly. The longer it got, the curlier it got. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. That's a look that I just, even then, I don't like it. I don't like a mullet. Cause like
No.
Patrick Swayze and Kurt Russell rocked like mini mullets in the late
Yep.
80s. And I don't, not, I don't love it.
No, I never did. I always thought it looked stupid.
So it was either, apparently for men, it was either a mullet or like very neatly groomed, super short hair or like kind of side swept bangs for boys and men.
Mm,
And for both men and women, Aquanet hairspray.
oh
Do you remember
God,
did you ever use hairspray? Maybe you didn't, but apparently like this is the
no.
like hairband era. So like Aquanet became
Mhm.
like a huge thing apparently in the late 80s.
I, I also my mom she was big on getting perms back in the day, so
Hmm.
she would go through cans of that. I distinctly remember the giant can of Aquanet sitting on the kitchen counter. The thing was as tall as me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. It's so
Not kitchen, the
bad too.
bathroom
Yeah.
counter. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I knew what you meant.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah. That's
God.
that's why we got all those damn holes in the ozone. It's
Yeah.
because
Well,
of the
that was a
'80s.
big thing too. Whatever happened to the ozone layer? We don't hear about that anymore.
I know, I
Yeah.
know.
Did you go to a public school? Like, was fashion a thing? Like, did you try and like dress cool?
I tried, and the closest I came. All right, my regular everyday outfits. I don't know if you remember this brand. They sold it at like Haymart. It was called Ocean Pacific, OP.
Yeah, I do. OP. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my wardrobe consisted of a lot of OP stuff.
Okay.
I mean, y- shirts that had like a big fluorescent logo on the front, shorts that were very busy with magenta stripes, going through it and stuff, things like that. Um, the socks with the three stripe socks pulled all the way up to my knees.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. Glasses with lenses as big as my head.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
blind or not
Uh,
thick, just big? Like, yeah.
yeah, like just big, like wide looking,
Okay.
just because that's what we wore back in the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I was able to, I don't know if it was a Christmas gift or whatever, but I was able to convince my parents to get me a pair of Z Cavaricci pants. Do you remember those?
Yes, and that was like the epitome of like I don't know designerness of the 80s,
Yeah,
right? Z
yes.
calves,
Yeah.
guess for
Had one
girls.
pair. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were black and they had the thing that was famous about them is they had the white Z Cavaricci logo that went down the front of the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I rocked the shit out of my Z Cavs in 8th grade.
I love that. That's awesome. Oh God. Designer jeans. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. That's also in the 90s, but oh,
Mhm.
okay. Shall we move on to music, the top 10 billboards? We have George Michael with Faith as the number one song. I
Mhm.
loved George Michael and his videos. White Snakes, Is This Love? Also good videos. Actually, no. Was that the one with Tawny Katane or was it a different White Snake video? Like,
The one with Tawny
yeah.
Katane was Here I Go Again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good
I
one.
know, yeah, that is. I mean, they still play it today on the
Hmm.
radio. What did you say it was What Is Love? Or This Is
Is
Love?
This
What
Love?
was
Is
the white
This
thing?
Love?
Is This
Is
Love?
this? Yeah,
I
I'm not, I can't sing. So, but yeah, you can picture, I'm sure.
No, I can yeah, I can hear it in my head. I'm familiar with the song. Just I mean, obviously it's not their most famous one. Here I Go Again
It's
is.
not. I really do like Whitesnake. They never come like top of mind when you're talking about hair bands, or for
Mhm.
me anyway, but Whitesnake's pretty good. I like them. Whitney Houston's So Emotional is number 3. Debbie Gibson's Shake Your Love is number 4. I vividly remember Debbie Gibson being huge in the 80s, like Britney Spears of the time, probably.
Well, she was
Got
one of the other ones. You mentioned Madonna with the lace tutu style dresses. But Debbie Gibson
Yeah.
was another one. She wore like
Yeah,
the gloves, the black
that's
mesh
true.
gloves on her hands.
Yeah, that's true. Her and Tiffany,
Tiffany.
somehow I always like put those two together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. 5 is Got My Mind Set on You by George Harrison. And for
Mhm.
some reason, I don't know, did all of the Beatles go on to have like a solo career? I've never been a big Beatles follower, so I'm not super
Yeah.
familiar.
Well, obviously Paul McCartney is still to this day rocking and rolling. He after the Beatles, he went on and played with Wings.
Oh, that's right.
Um, and well, John Lennon obviously had his little solo thing before he died, and then
Hmm.
George Harrison did his thing in the '80s. I Got My Mind Set on You was a monster. I remember that song. I remember that.
It's
You
good.
don't remember the video, do you? The music
No,
video?
I don't remember the video, but I can sing the song. What was the
It
video?
had the video was he was sitting in a room, like on a recliner kind of chair, and like there was all these mounted animals on the walls, like taxidermied animals, and
Hmm.
they're singing. All the shit in the room is moving to the music and stuff. It's pretty wild video.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Ringo
Um,
Starr is the only one that really didn't have too
yeah,
much
I
of a
was just
music
thinking that.
career after.
Huh. Okay.
Mm,
Well, do you remember Jodie Watley? She had Don't You Want Me? I remember other songs, but Don't You Want Me is number 6.
okay.
And then Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle. I remember that
Oh
also
yeah.
being really big, big
Mhm.
song. Catch Me, I'm Falling from the Hiding Out movie, Pretty Poison. I am super not familiar. That doesn't ring a bell at all.
Yeah. I'm trying.
And then Steve Winwood had the number 9 song with Valerie, and Sting had number 10 with We'll Be Together.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So maybe it's a better year for movies than music.
Yeah. Well, also, I will say that this is from when I do the top billboards, it's from the specific week. So they change quite a
Oh
bit.
yeah,
So
I
this
got you.
was literally from the week of December 16th,
Okay.
1987.
All right.
Were you a hairband guy? What music were you listening to? I know you were 9, but
Yeah, I was just trying to think when you were going through the list, and I don't think I really found my musical interest until I was a little bit later on. So at this point, I probably listened to most of what my parents listened to,
okay.
and uh, so you said George Harrison. I remember that song being played like crazy because my dad loved. It.
Hmm.
And being that this is also the Dirty Dancing year, my mom
All the
outplayed
60s.
that the well, yeah, the just specifically the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. She must have wore that
It's
tape clear. She played it so much.
We talked about it in the Dirty Dancing episode, but like that soundtrack, I think is maybe the best soundtrack ever.
Yeah.
It's really good. Did you like it or not?
I just need to. I get nostalgic when I hear Hungry Eyes or,
Yeah,
I had the time of
but
my life or something like that.
that's true. Those are the contemporary ones, but the vast majority of the songs on that soundtrack were like 60s, which I kind of
Yeah.
dig that era.
And yeah, well, my dad was famous for making mixtapes of all like 50s and 60s, mainly 60s music. So I listened to a lot of that back then in the 80s too.
Okay.
You know, good
So
times.
we have a few news and events from December before we get into the movie, and some movie releases. One is the US President Ronald Reagan and the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev sign a treaty eliminating medium range nuclear missiles. Very specifically, medium range. So I'm not sure what that means. Like long and short are still cool, it's just not medium.
Right.
But the 80s Mikhail Gorbachev, I remember hearing a lot about him.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, well, the big
then,
goof on him was he was a bald guy and he had this big raspberry birthmark on his
yes,
forehead.
yeah,
So that was like the big joke. Like he had a jelly stain, or wine stain or something.
yep. No internet, but he was on the news a lot.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
yeah.
that's for sure.
I don't recall this person, but Lynette, aka Squeaky Fromm, serving a life sentence for attempted assassination of President Gerald Ford, escapes
Hmm.
from Alderson Prison, and then she was recaptured 2 days later. I was completely unfamiliar with this. Apparently, she was a Charles Manson devotee. Do you remember this at all?
Uh, no. The name is somewhat familiar, but I don't remember um President Ford, like an attempted assassination on him.
Me
But
neither.
yeah, especially in our lifetime, I mean,
Yeah.
assassinations were big, like, back in the 60s, right? But not
Yeah.
in
I
our
think, well,
lifetime. I
didn't
don't know.
Reagan got, or somebody
He got
shot
shot.
at, yeah, he got, yeah. Okay.
And I think that was 1980.
Okay.
So I guess maybe before you were born, but I was a youngin.
So maybe this happened. So this Lynette Squeaky Fromm was in jail. So
Hmm.
whenever she tried to assassinate President Ford,
Oh,
must have
okay.
maybe been in the, I don't know, 70s or,
Whenever, yeah, and then
yeah.
that was her
But
escape. It was in 87.
right, yeah, in December of 87, she escaped a prison and
Okay.
then she was recaptured. But yeah, that's crazy town. So that
Yeah, but
happened.
her being a Manson family member makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He got some
Yeah,
people to do some crazy shit in his name.
indeed. Super crazy. Uh, so in December, so there was, as we talked about, there being like a ton of movie releases in 87, specifically the month that Overboard was released. There was also some big releases. Three Men and a Baby
Hmm.
was one. Throw Mama from the Train, which I actually have not seen. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't not in 1987, but I've come to appreciate it
Is
later on
that
in my
Danny
life.
DeVito? Who's in that?
Yeah, Danny DeVito, Billy Crystal,
Okay, I'll have to
and
check that out.
the Mama Fratelli from the Goonies.
Oh, okay.
She's Mama. She's Mama and Throw Mama from the
Oh,
Train. It's a really, really funny movie. It's kind of like a dark comedy. You know what I
okay.
mean? It's
Yeah.
it's not that in your face humor, but it's really funny.
I do dig Danny DeVito. So yeah, I'll have
He
to
is
check that out.
awesome. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
he is. Do you watch It's Always Sunny or did you in
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
yeah, yeah. Not I think I missed the last few seasons, but I
Me
was keeping
too.
up with it.
Yeah.
I think the early seasons are better anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's
Isn't
a
that like
very unique
for all
show.
shows?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it takes them like a season to catch their footing, but then like the mid seasons,
Hmm.
early to mid seasons are good. A ton of people love Eddie Murphy's Raw, and that's like known to be. It's not my favorite of like stand up, but that came out in December of
Hmm.
87. Is that the one where he has the red leather outfit? That's what I'm like picturing.
His two big ones are Raw and Delirious, and I always get them mixed up. I want to
Okay.
say he was wearing the red in Raw,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% positive on that. But the funny thing about stand up specials back in the day, this was in movie theaters. This was
Yeah.
released in theaters.
I didn't realize that.
Nowadays,
Mm-mm.
yeah, you don't never see stand up specials released in movies. Now they're on Amazon Prime or Netflix or something.
Netflix. Well, they must have come out. Now it seems like there's a stand up special every couple weeks. And
Yeah.
if it was like big enough to be produced and in movie theaters, I'm I'm picturing that they didn't happen all as often.
Hmm.
But I could be wrong. But yeah, Raw
Yeah.
was huge apparently.
Raw was his second one. Delirious was first. I think Delirious came out in 84 or 85, maybe.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and then Raw came out and yeah, Raw came out in 87. He was only 26, I think, when Raw came out, which would have made him 22 when he released his first special.
Dang.
This is crazy, right?
That is crazy. Wow. Okay. Also, December 87 was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Um,
Fantastic.
Indeed. Wall Street, Fatal Attraction,
Mm.
and the re-release of Cinderella. And I have that Disney puffy case VHS.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I really liked Cinderella. So
Yeah, I
those were some
remember
of the movies.
they would release those Disney movies, for like a limited time, have
Hmm.
everybody rush out to get them, and then they would close the Disney vault, as they would say, and you wouldn't see it again for years.
It's like marketing 101, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Scarcity. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
It works.
They knew what they were doing.
They did.
Can I bring up a news story that was really on my radar back in 1987?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know why it was on my radar at 9 years old. In Texas, there was a little girl. She was dubbed Baby Jessica.
Oh
Do you
my
remember
God.
this?
The girl in the well?
Yeah, you remember this?
Yes, because they did a whole, oh my God, like made for TV movie about it. It was like everywhere. That must not have been in December, but so in 87, how do you remember what
Yeah,
years things were?
because I was, after you asked me to come on, I did a little research just as the
Okay.
year as a whole,
Okay.
1987, and this was one of the first like big news stories. Oh my God, like I haven't thought about this in years, but I was at the time. This was like a 2.5 day ordeal. This girl was 18-month-old girl was stuck in a well, not like a wishing well. It was like a well. It was like 18 inches long or wide. It was a
Like a
hole in the
pipe
ground,
almost seemed
like a
like.
pipe.
Yeah.
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 So she fell in. She was like 20 feet down, and it took them 2.5 days to dig her out. And if they pulled her out, and she was alive. But I was in at 9 years old. I was in on all the news stories surrounding this, and
Me
it's crazy
too.
that it's
And I
crazy. It,
was
it happened
young,
in
like even
Texas.
younger. It must have been, I mean, there wasn't as much noise in like the news stratosphere, I
News
guess,
cycle,
but
yeah, yeah,
I remember that being huge. And like I said, they made a made for TV movie. I think
yeah.
I've seen that like multiple times. Yeah, Baby Jessica in the well.
Insane.
And
I
there was
wonder how
even
many. I was just wondering how many of the listeners actually remember that too.
yes, please let me know. I'm feeling a lot of people. I don't know if there was another Wells story, but I feel like I've seen in pop culture since, like people referencing the 80s, it's sort of like
Hmm.
poking fun at how many kids fell in wells, like that was like a big danger of kids, or maybe it
Well,
was just this one story.
there was a Simpsons episode where Bart was playing a prank on the town where he put a radio down, like a walkie-talkie down in a well, and he was talking from like a distance away, like as if he was a kid stuck in a well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a thing on everybody's radar, like stay away from wells, might fall in. Yeah,
You,
it was like
18 inches
quicksand
big. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Quicksand is another thing that was like,
or
why was
acid
that
rain.
such a, yeah. Yes. Oh my God, that and the Aquanet with the, ozone layer,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, razor blades
Doom
in
and
your
gloom back
Halloween
then.
candy.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
a lot
God.
of urban legend, doom and gloom stuff.
It's so true. Oh my God. Yeah, good call for bringing up the Wells story. I love that. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of Overboard, I wanted to ask you a few questions about our ultimate everyman, Kurt Russell, who's starring in this
Mhm.
movie. Do you have any thoughts or fandom that you wanted to share, just generally speaking, about Kurt?
You know, I don't have a huge background with Kurt. I know
Okay.
Ryan loves him. He's like Ryan's
Mm-hmm.
favorite actor outside of Sylvester Stallone. But I've seen a lot of his stuff. I've seen this, and maybe not a lot of his stuff. Maybe probably this and Tango and Cash were the things I've seen mostly of his when I was a kid. And I don't really think I appreciated him as much as an actor until like later
Mm-hmm.
on, when
Mm-hmm.
I realized that dude can act his way out of anything. He's great.
He's so charming. Well,
Yeah. He's
and
got those piercing blue eyes, I'm
he
sure,
does.
it's
He
yeah.
does. And he's got like the way his smile. Yeah, he's a charmer. But what about Patrick Swayze, who is our other ultimate everyman for season
Mhm.
one? Were you a fan of his or not? Neither of these were like big on your radar as a kid.
Wouldn't say I didn't seek any of them out, but I
Okay.
watched movies with them in it. Same with Patrick Swayze, you know, Dirty Dancing. I told you my mom was a big Dirty Dancing fan, so I
Mm-hmm.
seen that movie a ton. Ghost, Ghost was the
Mm-hmm.
90s. Was it the 90s?
It was,
Um,
yes, early 90s.
Point Break. Saw that a
Mm-hmm.
ton as a kid just because I loved the movie, not specifically because of Swayze, but I've seen their stuff.
Today, actually, the day that we are recording this, so we will be in the future by the time this comes out, but today is actually Patrick Swayze's birthday. had he not passed away, he would have been 71 today.
Happy birthday, Patrick.
Yes. And Kurt is, so they are about the same age. When I started this, I sort of thought, so my next question is going to be about if you think they look similar or not, because I clearly do. And I ask everyone that. But they're about the same age too. Kurt's only a year older. So do you think they look alike, Doug?
I can see where you think that. Okay. I get why you made this season Kurt Russell, Patrick Swayze one. I get it. I get it. And I see the similarities, but I don't think as far as like behavior wise, like their mannerisms or anything is that similar. I think
No.
they're completely their own men. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They share similarities. Like I said, I get why you pin them up against one another this season,
Mhm. Okay.
but
Okay.
I'll say
Man,
they can pass as brothers.
I very much think they should
All
play
right.
brothers, or they should,
Yeah, there
like,
we
that would have
go.
been awesome if we would have
Yeah.
gotten them in a movie together playing brothers, but we didn't. Okay.
Alas.
I know. Okay. God, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. The Golden Girls agreed with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a girl thing. Maybe you see something that we as men don't.
I full on think that women, just when I'm out and about with friends or my like sisters, they're like, yeah, totally.
Mhm.
I think it is
Okay.
a women thing. Yeah. You'll have to ask your wife if she thinks they look alike or not.
Fair enough. I'll
Yes.
report back.
Yes, please do. So was Overboard part of your childhood viewing experience, or do you remember first seeing it or any memories specifically about Overboard?
Well, let me start off by saying my childhood viewing really didn't get too far past Star Wars.
Oh,
Maybe the
really?
occasional Rocky
Oh
movie.
my
Yeah.
God.
This
Okay.
this time
Okay.
I was Rocky 4 was huge in my rotation, but I
Oh
was a
yeah.
huge
Oh
Star
yeah.
Wars nerd. So,
Okay.
but as far as like, yeah, I watched other stuff too, but Overboard was one of those. We didn't own it on video. Um, video cassette is for your younger listeners who
Hmm.
don't know what we're talking about.
The good old
But
VHS.
it was, yeah, exactly, VCR. But it was something that was on. I remember it being on HBO or Showtime, one of those premium channels, a lot,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
was that was something that you turned on and just like left on in the background. So I've seen it. Maybe watching it for this might have been the first time I watched it all the way through. I've seen every part of it just in bits and pieces. You know what I
Yeah, that
mean?
makes sense. Without further ado, let's get into the movie. It was released December 16th, 1987. It was PG, and I want to make note of that because there are some bits in this like, I'm like, wow, that was really pushing the envelope for PG, don't you think?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
some. I mean, PG then wasn't what PG is now.
that's
You know
true.
what I mean? The PG-13 rating came into popularity in like '84 with Temple of Doom and the Gremlins, I want to say.
Okay.
And but even then, like, I mean, the stuff that you see in this back then, I don't think warranted PG-13. That was more for like, I don't know,
Swearing and
maybe like
stuff.
yeah, like horror kind of
Okay.
elements. Like in Temple of Doom, like Indy rips the guy's heart out of it, or
Mm,
the bad guy rips the other guy's heart out of his chest. You know what I mean? And Gremlins killing people and getting chopped up in blenders and stuff. So I think it was more for like the visual aspect.
like violence and stuff. Yeah, I guess like
Yeah. So
it's there's adult themes, and in my viewings of Overboard as a kid, I watched it a lot. It's like I said, this is my favorite Kurt Russell movie. But I feel like I mostly saw it on like an edited version, like edited for TV
mhm.
version. So I did take note yesterday when I watched it. It might be the one of the only times that I saw the unedited version. And
Mhm.
there's a scene after they get together, like they're in bed together and the kids come in. Kurt and Goldie are in bed together and the kids come in. And the oldest child, Travis, says something like, she doesn't have much for tits, but she's got a great ass.
Oh,
I never
yeah.
caught that before. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. I don't know. It was
I
like an
know.
awkward.
Yeah.
That and like one of the little kids says like, "Oh, don't knock her up." There's just some things, and I'm like, "Oh, that's only PG, huh?"
Yeah.
Um,
Some adult themes. Yeah.
and just
Yeah, but that
generally
was
like
mild, man.
kidnapping a
Per-
human being, basically. The whole
yeah.
premise of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. We can't. You can't go and look at this movie through a lens of 2023. You just
No,
can't.
no, but I'm
It's
just like,
horrible.
oh, that, yeah, for sure.
You know,
I actually have a
just
note
all.
about that later, but
Yeah. All
yeah.
right.
So anyway, I don't know why I was like, wow, PG. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, it has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. I kind of thought it would have been higher. I mean, that's pretty good, but
I don't think it got like very good from what I read. Like it was pretty much a flop. Was that or
yeah,
not?
that's a good point. Box office wise, I think it made its money back and then a little. Actually, yeah, it
Barely. Yeah.
grossed 26.7 million on a 22 million budget, so it like just barely made
Hmm.
its money back. But I think since like it's attained like cult status, so
Hmm.
like a lot of movies do, like later it's gotten a bigger following, and they did remake it, which I never saw because I'm not a big fan of remakes. Did you see the remake in 2015?
I started to watch it and then I didn't make it 10 minutes and
Oh,
I
you
said, this is just trash.
really? Okay, I will
Yeah.
not watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, it's a gender swap too. And
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big
no
fan of
thanks.
that gal that stars
Anna
in the newer
Ferris.
one. Yeah.
Mhm.
She's not my favorite. So I don't think I recognized or knew this in my earlier viewings of Overboard, but the director is Gary Marshall, who's kind of a big deal. Like his career in the 60s, he wrote for The Lucy Show, Dick Van Dyke, and then he
Mhm.
developed The Odd Couple in the
Mhm.
70s, gained fame for Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, like all of those kind of shows. And I don't think I realized that. And then, in addition for being known for directing Overboard, he also directed Beaches, Pretty Woman, which I didn't realize, Runaway Bride. And then like those newer ensemble films like Valentine's Day and New Year's
Oh,
Eve, like those. So
he was still directing because I know he died like
I the
15
last
years ago, maybe.
yeah, oh actually, maybe he did
Hang on.
Mother's Day in 2016 and I think he probably passed shortly after that.
Surely.
Yeah.
Well, his daughter is Penny Marshall, right?
His sister is Penny Marshall.
Sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And she's Laverne from Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
and she
right.
went on to have her own directing career. Like she directed A League of Their Own.
She's kind of a big deal too. Yeah. Famous
Mhm.
family. She's
Yeah.
done a lot of stuff. Yeah. So Gary Marshall, he was nominated because of all that TV work that he did like in the 60s and 70s,
Right.
nominated for 5 Emmys as
Maybe
well.
that's why I thought he died earlier because I thought he was her father, not brother.
Yeah, they're
But that
siblings.
makes it
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Hmm. The writer is Leslie Dixon, which I wasn't familiar with, but she also wrote Mrs. Doubtfire, Loverboy, and Freaky Friday. And then we have our Kurt Russell as Dean Prophet, Goldie Hawn as Joanna, Edward Herman, who plays Grant Staten III. And you guys will recognize him from the 1982 Annie movie. Did you ever see that, Doug?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Who's he in
loved that
Annie?
movie. He's FDR. Oh, sorry. Did I not? Yeah, he
Oh,
plays
that's
FDR.
right.
He plays FDR in the Annie movie from 1982.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved
Yes.
that.
Good, very good movie.
Yeah.
I remember him more as the mom's boyfriend in The Lost Boys.
Oh, it's been a while since
Yeah.
I've seen
He
that,
was
so I
like
don't
he
remember.
was turned out to be the head vampire, spoiler alert.
Oh, I need to rewatch that. It's been a long time. Okay, good
That's
call.
that's a good one. That's
Yeah. Catherine Hellmond plays Joanna's mother, and you all will know her as playing Mona on Who's the Boss. I really like her. And then Mike Haggerty plays Billy, Dean's friend. Did you recognize him from anything? The friend, Billy?
uh
Did you
yeah,
ever watch the
oh
show
yeah, yes,
Friends?
Friends. Friends. He was
Yes.
the
Yes.
superintendent
Mr.
of the building.
Trigger.
The
He
Trigger,
literally
yeah.
looks the same. Like it's
Yeah,
like
he
he didn't
does.
age. Yeah, he looks the same. But Mr.
I love
Trigger,
I love I love the when Joey teaches him ballroom dancing. That was the best
yes, yeah,
that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
best Trigger episode.
Oh, I love it. You want to go with my friend Marge? She's about your same size. I'm good. Friends. And then lastly, we have Roddy McDowell playing Andrew, kind of I don't know, is he like the butler or, what role
Yeah.
he is? But he was also an executive producer on this movie.
When I saw his name, Roddy McDowell, pop up, I thought, and I know the difference, but I thought they were referencing Malcolm McDowell, who played the main character in Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing my research for the film, I was like, that I noticed that was a common mistake that everybody made. Roddy and Malcolm
It is.
McDowell. They're not even related.
No, and aren't they both British? So that probably adds to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So the whole movie, I was looking for Malcolm McDowell. I was like, what the hell is this guy?
Now, Roddy, the only thing I think of is Roddy Piper from like WWF. I've never really heard that name otherwise. I did note the music for this movie. Like I loved the music in this movie. And Alan Silvestri is the person who did the music. And he is a 2-time Academy Award and Golden Globe Award nominee. I don't know if you're familiar with Alan Silvestri or not, but he's
Yes.
Robert Zemeckis. He works
yes,
with him a lot.
He was he was the Zemeckis guy. He did the Polar Express, Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, composing on that is incredible.
Yes. Another great soundtrack. He did the Back to the Future. So they did Back to the Future together too. Those movies.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
And I think, because Seiko and I talked about Romancing the Stone. So I want to say either that, I don't know if it was both, but either Romancing the Stone or Jewel of the Nile. I don't know if it was both movies or just one of them. They also teamed up.
What year was that? 80s, right?
Either like 84 and 86 or something like that.
His IMDb goes back so far to so many. He did Romancing the Stone.
Okay. Yeah.
Back to the Future. Flight of the Navigator. Do you remember that?
Oh, well, we had it taped. Like from TV. So yeah. That was like, yeah. It was like a
He did Predator.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Flight of the Navigator was a Disney, like with the live action
Sunday night movie.
Yeah.
Remember those? Like the Sunday night movies? I loved that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Predator, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He did some monsters. The Abyss. All the Back to the Futures. Man.
Big credits.
All right. Yeah. Father of the Bride. God, we could go on and on. Stop or
My
Mom Will Shoot. Jeez.
Oh, that's right. Oh, well, isn't that like your favorite movie of all time, too?
Oh, yeah. It's just wonderful. The best.
Well, for listeners who have not seen Overboard in a minute or two, we have Joanna Staten hires a country carpenter, Dean Prophet, to build a closet on her yacht. When they don't see eye to eye, he is left unpaid while she sets sail. The following day, she is fished out of the sea after falling overboard. Suffering from amnesia, Dean sees a neat way to regain the money she owes him. He tells her that she's his wife. That way, he gets a free housekeeper and mother for his 4 sons. What did you think about Overboard?
Oh man, I love how when she's has amnesia in the hospital, the only way they verify that he's her husband is by him identifying the birthmark on her butt because he saw her wearing a thong bathing suit, so he saw her birthmark. When he was,
Zero
doing
burden
the
of
job
proof.
for her. Yes, yeah, crazy. No
That was
wedding
a
license.
No,
nothing
nothing.
like
Just
that.
well, she's like a total bitch too. So they're like, yeah, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
You can kidnap this woman. But this was a theme, I think, in 87 because we also have Over the Top, another fantastic 80s movie in the same year where Lincoln Hawk or
I know what you're gonna
Hawks,
say.
in order to again kidnap a child, he like his burden of proof is a wedding photo to prove who he
Yeah,
is. That's it.
I know. A birth certificate or just anything other
Anything.
than a wedding photo of him.
Wedding photo or
Yeah.
knowledge of a birthmark. This
Yeah.
passes for proof.
Yep.
Good call. I found myself chuckling quite a bit in this rewatch. Like, I can't even think of something specific. There's lots of like little touches that made me laugh throughout the movie. I don't know if you felt the same way.
Yeah, it was takes a lot to get me to actually laugh out loud when I'm watching a movie. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So, but like overall, I it's a funny movie. Like there are funny. It was funny in the way that like Mr. Mom is funny to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not like out loud ha moments, but like just the situations, the scenarios, and everything. Like yes, it is a funny and entertaining movie.
Okay. I'll take it.
I don't know
I
how
did.
how else to really
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like, I see your point. There were just little things that I'm like, oh, good call. That was smart of the writers, or the
Yeah,
delivery
yeah.
of like the Joanna's trying to name the kids, like when she's introduced to the
Mhm.
boys, and
Yeah.
Dean is like, okay, your firstborn, you got to know him. And she's like, Roy. And the kid's name is Travis. And
Yeah.
then later I don't know, they did something like, oh, who did this? Who made this mess? And they're like, it wasn't me, Dad. It was Roy.
Yeah.
Little things
Uh,
like that. I'm like, good little callback. Things like that were
yes, and
funny.
like that's a great example of one. Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree.
So we were talking about Alan Silvestri and the music. I really, probably not when I was little, but rewatching it the other day, I very much took note of the music and like how effective using those musical cues in this movie was, especially
Mhm.
that opening scene where we're introduced to this world, cutting back and forth between the local Oregonian and the yacht, and how they use like that like hillbilly country banjo-y fiddly music cut
Thought that
back
was
and
a
forth
great.
with like the
Yeah.
hoity music of the
Yes,
yacht. Yeah.
that was a great piece of music. And yeah, right off the bat, they hit you with that. It was like a banjo, like a really fast playing banjo. You said kind of intercut with like a classical. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah,
Yeah. Like the
great piece of
refined
music.
nature of the yacht cut with like, because they keep like kind of making fun of Dean and this area as like, oh, the mountain man or country person, kind of make fun of it.
They they didn't say he says a few times that he's new to the area, so that's
Hmm.
established. But they didn't say where he came from, right?
They
You
didn't.
know, it looked like he lived in like a dump part of town.
Hmm.
So he
Yeah.
was a hillbilly. I don't know why. Like I,
Yeah.
I just thought he came from like the deep south or something
I don't know either, unless I sort of maybe assumed it was just somewhere else, some other town in in
in Oregon.
Oregon.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
East Coasters do say Oregon, don't they? Do you say
Oh, I
Oregon?
did. Yeah, I just I just did it, didn't
I find like regional ways of speaking interesting. I listen to a podcast where the girls are from Boston and they also say Oregon.
I? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know which one is
Guilty as
right.
charged.
No, I don't
I
know which
don't.
one is right, but
Yeah, you're probably right. You're closer.
yeah, yeah, I am. I was caught in this world. I thought they did a really good job of like introducing us to this world quickly. Like it didn't take a long time. And then
Hmm.
we're introduced to Joanna. And I had forgotten, wow. I mean, we we're we're shown what type of person she is right away. Like she's super bitchy and snotty, but she is dressed like rich person loungewear is, I mean, her hair was done up perfectly and her,
Hmm.
she was just so fancy, but it was like yacht loungewear.
Yeah,
And
even her slippers are
yeah,
high heels. It's
yes,
right.
it was like, oh, and then that Cruella DeVille esque, like
Hmm.
long cigarette holder.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was a kid, I literally thought that was so cool. I wanted one of those. Yeah. That's what I call class, which is a Rocky 2
Yeah, that's a
reference, but
status. Yeah, it's what I call class. Yeah, to watch.
mhm.
No, that's definitely a status symbol. The long cigarette holder.
That's
That
so
prevents you
like,
from getting the yellow fingernails from the nicotine on the
oh, is that
tar
what
on the
it
cigarettes.
does?
I think
I
so,
didn't even
yeah.
think of the
Am I
reason
wrong?
why. I just thought it was like a rich person thing to do. That's okay.
That could be it too. I
Well,
just thought it was
yeah,
soon.
makes sense. Yeah. Um, and the Zach Morris style phone, we get
Oh, yeah, yeah, yep.
the I loved that. Oh, I like a blast from the past like that.
It's funny that style phone is always, connected to Zach Morris.
It is. It's
And I
literally
don't know why.
what it's called. No, I don't know what it's called actually,
The
but
Zach Morris phone, yeah.
the Zach Morris phone.
But you say Zach Morris phone, everybody knows immediately what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
it's the best description. But yeah, like she says, there's two quotes that I wrote down because I was like, holy wow, did people talk to people like this? Like she says to Andrew or whoever is who brought her
Mhm.
caviar, I almost had to
Oh,
wait. Like that
yeah.
line. And I doubt he's even housebroken when referring to Dean, like he can overhear them.
Oh,
But like
yeah.
I was just like the audacity of like, wow, I had forgotten what a snotty, hoity bitch she
Yeah.
was.
I would like to say that they overplayed her bitchiness and her hoidiness, but no, man, I'm sure there are even to this day, there are probably people that snotty out there.
Yeah, that's true. People are the worst.
You really
Um,
are. That's why you stick to animals, right?
yes, yeah, yeah. Everyone who knows me, I'm like not a fan of people generally. So what did you think of the price tag for this new closet remodel?
$600.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like what it would, I mean, home improvement is once you own a home, you never stop thinking about it. And what it would cost to like remodel a walk-in closet like that. And a $600, like a job like that now would be 10 grand,
Oh yeah, I know.
8,000, $10,000.
And she's super rich, so but it's like you just that you probably have that like stuck in your bra. Just,
I know. You're right. Right. You could pay him the $600 to make him go away and never have to deal with him again.
and then the way that he calculates her like working off that $600 is that her slave labor is worth $25 a day. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
So
Um,
far less than minimum wage.
25 bucks a day to make up that 600 bucks to that. And he was like, yeah, I imagine she'll be here for about a
Mhm.
month. Yeah.
Yeah. $600 for month's work. Who, who can live on that?
Now, would you leave your 4 kids home alone while you're out working all day?
I mean, desperate times, right?
I know.
The oldest kid was 13.
That
So
is
my
true.
son
And
is
it's
13. I leave
it's
them
in the
home alone.
80s too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just that there's
Oh,
4
yeah.
of them and like the youngest, I don't know however old the oldest one was or
Well,
youngest one, but
here's the difference. Not that my kids are angels, but I would leave my two sons home at 13 and 11 alone. But if I had his kids,
yeah.
I would expect to come home to a house in a pile of ashes.
And that is kind of what happens. Yeah. Also the 80s,
Yeah.
like I stayed home by yeah, like totally it was a different time in the 80s, but it was just 4 kids is a lot. But yes, the older one was 13. So I just
Yeah, but then he's in charge of the other ones, and I mean,
they're
maybe
little
the twins are
terrors.
responsible, but that little kid,
The Pee
Joey,
Wee
he's a
Herman
terror
kid.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I took note of the dogs, obviously, because I'm a big dog person. A couple things.
Mhm.
So when he takes her quote unquote home, it's kind of a famous line where we're cut to them riding home in his pickup truck where his 2 dogs are sitting like shotgun inside the cab while she rides home in the truck bed. That was awesome.
That's
And
great.
then this was a quoted line. I don't know, maybe it was just me and my family and friends, but I just ate a bug. We said that all the time. Like she swallows a bug and the way she says
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I loved that. And
That's
then I
great.
never noticed. So one of the dogs is a coonhound, which I love. I have bloodhounds, so I'm like, oh, I love that. But he has a
Mhm.
cast. Did you notice that the
Yeah,
dog at the beginning of the movie has a cast on?
I did notice that, and then the next scene he's in, it's off.
There was a scene where we're shown like the kids like unwrapping it, like it kind of looked more like a wrap. But
Mhm.
initially it was
Okay.
a cast, and then yeah, and then later he doesn't have it. So I don't know if like the dog they booked for the movie, like I don't know what the deal was with that, but yeah, the dog has a cast in the beginning part of the
It,
movie.
it fit the scene well, though.
Mm-hmm. It does. We get a montage here of her. What did you
Oh,
think about the her trying to be
the house
domestic?
cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. When nothing's going right, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, it's an '80s movie. You have to have a
A
montage set
montage.
to
I
music.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
did
I
get a
mean that.
kick out of that.
It's yeah, yeah. I love montages. People think it's a campy, like stupid, cheap way of doing it. I love a montage, and they did this one well.
It's very effective to get like over time showing something like without taking forever in movie time. Yeah, I really
Hmm.
liked the montage. And I'm not a super domestic person either, so I found it hilarious to watch this woman who has never had to do anything for herself in her whole life, and now she's like
Right.
attempting to cook a chicken and do
Oh, that
laundry and stuff.
actually gave me a little anxiety when she has the whole chicken and she's trying to jam it into the pot. Like, if
Yeah,
somebody handed me a chicken like that, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
me neither. Oh, well, I mean,
The feet
obviously
were
I
still
wouldn't, but yeah,
on.
it's just a whole chicken.
Yeah.
Like it's,
With the
yeah.
feet and the head and everything. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
And then she
So I
like
don't.
throws the whole chicken in a pot with like, here's a
Mhm.
potato and a carrot. And
Yeah.
just,
I
yeah,
know.
I always found that funny.
And I know they were playing up the whole, him getting revenge on her for being a bitch. But let me see, when she asked for help or whatever, he says, "Honey, I hunt it, you cook it." Which, oh, get it in a revenge story like this might fly, but that was one of those things that made me go, "Ugh." Today that you
I'm
can't talk
glad
to a
that
woman
you
like that.
pointed that out and not me, because there was a few times that I'm like, dude, you're being a dick. But
Yeah.
it's hard to, because I do find Kurt very charming. But yeah, that was
Another one, you'll like this too, is when he goes out with his friends and she says, "When you coming home?" And he says, "Whenever I feel like it. It depends on how drunk I get."
yes. Like
So
you don't tell like I'm not accountable to anything. I do what I yeah, and
yeah.
I'll
So
get
those
home
two
when I get
stuck.
home. Yeah. It's like
Yeah, those two
Jesus.
stuck out. Mhm.
Agreed. I'm glad that they stuck out to you as well. Because I was like, Yee.
Yeah, and look, I'm the farthest thing from woke. You know what I mean? I don't. That's not part of my culture. But if something isn't appropriate, I kind of, you know, it kind of raises my eyebrows a little bit.
As it should. As it should.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, yes. But like we said, it was the 80s. And yes, he's like, who are you? I'm like, he literally kidnapped her to be a housekeeper and mother to his kids.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but then of course, that's what we get with the montage. And then we see over time they start to really like her. The kids grow to really like her, and as does Dean, and even Billy recognizes this is actually really good for him. And so they don't want
Hmm.
Dean to come clean. And so they won't support him trying to come clean. And yeah, he ends up falling like they end up actually falling in love and coming like a real family. I don't know. I thought it was really endearing, like over time, even though he kidnapped her.
And it's yeah, I know. And my thing is the kids. Like once the kids flipped, or the kids took on to her,
Hmm.
and started really appreciating her for what she's doing for the family and everything. That's when, you know, you bring kids into it. It's that hits me right in feels, as the kids say. Uh,
Yeah, I bet.
you know,
Because I mean, their mother is passed away, right? So
right? Yeah.
isn't that
Hmm.
what happened? Right?
Yeah. They
Isn't
don't
that in
say
this
how or
movie?
why, but
Yeah.
yeah, but they mentioned that she died.
So she at first like can't stand the kids. She's like, what is this? Cannot possibly be my life. They're
Hmm.
such terrors. But then yeah, like she helps the little one learn to read. Like she's a calming
Hmm.
motherly presence in their life. And we see Dean overhear her standing up for the kids to
Right.
the
Yeah.
school principal.
Hmm.
Yeah, like teaching the kid to read. They work together on the mini golf plan.
Yes. Yeah.
uh
Another montage.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, I forgot that was a montage. What did you think of that little, like, I don't know, like, subplot, the mini golf thing?
I forgot about that completely
Me
from
too.
from my previous viewings, and then when him and the guy are talking about in the beginning, like, oh, we're gonna start a mini golf course. I thought that was just like a harebrained, kind of a lazy way that they say they're gonna try to hit it rich, But
Hmm.
then she helps them draw up the plans, and then they start building the thing, and I'm like, oh man, this is really like something that they're following through with. It's not just some harebrained get rich quick scheme,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it
And it,
was a good
yeah, she has
touching
the
scene.
idea.
Yeah.
We're shown the different wonders of the world because she has this idea
Hmm.
to do that. And I remember as a kid, like going through, it was like Mount Rushmore and the Eiffel Tower and whatever the different ones they show us. I remember thinking that was so cool when I was a kid. I'm like, I want to go to that mini golf
Yeah.
course. We
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
that in my little town. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The saddest part was, to me, in the end, when the husband comes back, and she confronts Dean on everything, and he there's nothing that he can possibly say, so he doesn't say anything. He kind of just looks at her while she's going off on him. That like his reaction there kind of, you know, it was touching. It was sad.
Agree. Plus, we get the sad music to accompany the scene.
Mhm.
But it
Mhm.
was like, if you're her, I mean, if that really happened to you, yeah. And she's like, you tricked me. You used me.
Mhm.
And to your point, yeah, like there's nothing he can say. Yeah, I
No,
agree.
and I'm sure, as the accuser in that scenario, you probably just want that person to say something to have it make sense, like justify it somehow. And there's nothing that he can say, which I'm sure for her is frustrating, and for him is like, he sees it all crumbling and down around him.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even like he doesn't even try to explain it that because by that
Hmm.
time they've fallen in love by this point. Like, and he even
Right.
gives her a wedding ring and everything. So they're like all happy coming home from like the
Mhm.
ceremony of the mini golf course opening. And at the same time, what's his name? Grant can't like dodge Joanna's mom's like inquiries anymore. So he's like, all right,
Hmm.
I guess we'll have to go get her. But on that point though, how did he know where she was? Or he just like searched around the town because he knew she was in Elk Cove, I guess.
Did it come out on the news when Dean picked her up? Because it was on the news when she had amnesia in
Yeah,
the
and he came
hospital.
to the hospital and then left her there when he saw her
Oh
being
yeah,
rude.
Grant did. But
But
when Dean came to pick her up, was that like, oh, her husband was
oh,
found? Was a
oh
news
no,
a
no,
news
I
thing?
don't think
No.
so. No, I don't think
Yeah. So
so. But
how would he have known where she was?
well, if he went to the hospital, he knew she was in the town, but I don't know how he knew.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
see what you're saying now. That he didn't know she was with Dean, but
Yeah.
so when they do fall in love, we get this turning point scene when it's like her fake birthday. So he takes
Hmm.
Joanna out and they have champagne and uh, that's when they like get it on for the first time like and really and they've fallen in love with each other and that story of like Arturo, like the legend of this Arturo being
Oh
lost at
yeah.
sea with his love, Katerina or something.
Mhm.
She asks how old she is, and he says 29.
There's no way she has a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I just thought that was weird. Why didn't because they've already established that they've been married for 13 years. So why didn't he make
Yeah.
up at least like 32 or something? Because
Yeah, I know. 35.
so she was 16 when they got married and had their first
Yeah. No
kid.
way.
I don't think so. Yeah. I took note of that.
The whole them having sex under these pretenses was another moment that I was like, not, this isn't cool, on Dean's part.
When they actually do, like it's clear that they've grown, like there is actually something there. But earlier on, there's a scene where like he's talking about sex a lot and
Mhm.
it's like they almost do, but then he's like, "Oh, you got to go to the couch." But I was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah, yeah,
please don't." Like I had kind of forgotten because that would have been like she's brand new to this situation, doesn't know anything. Yeah, it's icky.
yeah,
It's icky for sure.
yeah. Again, through the 2023 lens, back then it, probably didn't raise any eyebrows, but now, I don't know, maybe we're just too exposed to like, woke culture that, we You see
Well,
it
I
like
don't
this is
even
not
think
okay.
that's woke culture. That's just like, hey, that's not cool. Like we're just like
Yeah.
recognizing stuff
Mm.
that's not
Yeah. Or
acceptable,
maybe yeah.
you know?
Yes. Yeah. But back where in the 80s it wouldn't raise any eyebrows now because we're saturated by I mean,
Yeah.
what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I get it, taking
Yeah.
advantage of a woman who has amnesia is not okay
Super
in
not
in,
okay.
in any decade.
There's a lot of things from 80s movies that's like, wow, okay. But yeah, like we just took it. We didn't think, I don't know, for whatever reason. We've grown as a society perhaps, but
Yes, yes.
I'd like to think. I loved, what did you think about the scene where like shown that she's grown now when she's back home or back on the yacht? So she's like all fancy again, but she's not. Like she wants a beer
Hmm.
instead and she does tequila shots with the crew and
Yeah.
I loved that.
Her her redemption meant more when she's interacting with the crew than when
Yeah.
she orders a beer in front of her mother, you know what I mean, and husband.
Hmm.
It's because it kind of it redeems her from being a shitty person in the beginning of the movie,
And she
because
does
it's
apologize.
yes, yes.
Yeah. 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 I agree. And she even picks up a tray. Like we're just shown that she's actually being considerate of other people's needs or wants, like picking up a tray. Somebody wanted something, so she got a tray and they were like,
Hmm.
what are you doing? You don't, we have servants for that. But yeah, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked, to your point, her redemption story a little bit there.
Yeah, she had a full circle character arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of points in this movie where there's like simultaneous actions. Now that I'm kind of thinking through, because then like at the same time that they're coming home all happy, we get a scene where Grant's coming. Like that's like a simultaneous thing. And then
Hmm.
now that she's home but realizes that she really does love Dean and the kids, at the same time they
Yeah,
go after her
yeah.
and she turns the boat around to go after them. There's a lot of
Right.
that in this movie, which is perfect 80s cheese, but
Yeah, yeah. The parallel stories like kind of coming together.
mhm.
That's at a few different points. Yeah, I like that. It's good movie making.
It is, and they even incorporated the legend of Arturo. So their
Hmm.
their boats are now headed towards each other, and they're close enough, and they scream each other's name, like Arturo and Catalina, and jump in, and it's like this
Yeah,
swim to each other, and it's perfect. I love an '80s cheesy ending, and
I know. Yeah,
we definitely get it here.
yeah, yeah. And I was still like researching as the movie played out, and the end credits song by Randy Newman. It's a really good, like kind of like a good love song, which surprised the shit out of me.
Like if you actually listen to the words, you mean?
Yeah,
Or
because I listened through the credits and everything,
mm-hmm,
just like the melody and everything about it. It's like yeah, and the words, of course, but it's like a nice
mm-hmm.
song. It surprised me. I didn't expect that.
That's true. And yeah, Randy Newman. Well,
Hmm.
I have a feeling that you took particular note of the final scene when, given your situation, when she
Oh,
says,
yes.
like,
He
so
said, "What
it's
could I
hit
give you
her
that you don't
money.
already have?"
Yes. And
Hmm.
she says,
And
a
what?
little girl.
Yeah, it,
Is
I
it?
did
I don't know.
touch me.
I thought of you though,
Did
because
you?
yeah, because I'm like, because you have two boys, right?
Yes, I have two
Not
boys.
four.
They're
You don't have
older.
four.
No, I don't have four. God help me. I have
And
two
now you,
boys, 13 and 11. So at the same age as like Travis and probably the
the
twins.
twins. Oh, yeah.
All right. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have a little girl now after being off, having I'm 11 years out of practice and yeah, I'm finally getting a little girl.
Well, congratulations to you on that, and good
Thank you.
luck because, like you said, you're out of practice a little bit, but
Yeah. So we could make a 80s sitcom, not sitcom, 80s comedy movie out of me being like, trying to get back into changing
yeah,
diapers and everything.
yeah, you should
All we need is a
actually.
montage, a
Yes.
montage. All right. Actually, by the time this episode comes out, she'll be here, unless it's coming out
That's
within like the next 3 days.
no, no, no. Yes. So again, in the future, people, Doug will be a new dad again by the time this
Yeah.
episode comes out. Do you have a name picked out? You don't have to tell us, but do you?
No, yeah, yes. Her name's going to be Alicia Faith.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Aw, a little
Thank
girl.
you. Yeah, very excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Well, and Doug, thank you again because you're like a professional. You're having a baby any day now, and still you make time to come on the
Mhm.
Retromade show.
I've been dying to come on the show for a long time. I just want you to know.
Well, good. I'm so glad.
Because you talk 80s and 90s, this is my jam.
I know. It's
So
my
I'm
break from
very
the real
happy.
world. Really.
I hear you.
Yeah,
We need that, especially the way the world is now. We need that break.
indeed. There's a little bit of trivia before we wrap up. So, Kurt Russell's dad, Bing Russell, I just like that name, Bing.
Great name.
Um, he he plays. It just reminds me of Chandler Bing for some reason. Yeah. So he played the sheriff in this movie, which I didn't know.
Mhm.
There was a casting alternative for Billy. Can you picture another actor playing?
Billy was the friend.
Yeah, Mr. Trigger. There was
Yeah,
a
Trigger.
more famous actor that was offered the role but turned it down. Can you picture anybody?
I want to say that I saw this in my research, but I forgot who it was.
John Candy.
Oh yeah. But he was doing planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah, he was. Yep. Which came out
Yeah, that's
the
right.
same month. He would have been
I could
great.
totally see that. Yeah,
I
for
loved
sure.
him. It's like similar dynamic to Splash, which is I freaking love that movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
John
great.
Candy. It is. It's one of my favorite 80s movies of all time.
Yeah.
Now, does the name Rael Hunter ring a bell to you at all? Probably not. So she, in this movie, she plays one of the young women that Grant parties with on the yacht. Like he's having a great time. One of the young, I don't know, she's probably in a swimsuit, probably. So she's the same. Rael Hunter would later admit to having an affair with the North Carolina Senator John Edwards, and he fathered her child. That whole debacle derailed his political career and his marriage. Yeah.
I vaguely remember. Yeah, I vaguely remember John Edwards being in the news.
Yep. So that same girl, like one
It's
of those
funny,
girls was, yep. And then the truck in this, that blue pickup truck that Dean
Yes, this was my favorite
yeah.
piece. Yeah.
Really? So his old
Yeah,
truck,
I saw it.
it was used in John Carpenter's They Live. And the scene where we see it is it's parked outside of a homeless camp and Roddy Piper walks past it. And apparently you can even read the sign that says Dean Profit Construction. Is that where you were going to? It was in another movie, I think, too.
Yes, and the other movie was what made me so happy.
Oh.
It is in the opening scene of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes,
when
that's
they're
right.
driving to get the Christmas tree, and that pickup truck starts riding their ass, and they go back and forth with passing each other on the road.
I had kind of forgotten about that. They had repainted.
Yeah.
The Dean Profit wasn't on it at that time, but yeah.
No, they had painted that over at the time, but yeah, that little bit of information, I was like, it's awesome.
I love an old pickup truck like that. It's
Mhm.
funny. The other thing before we wrap up, I just like at the end of watching this, we were making fun of looking through something through a 2023 lens. But I really think like this movie with only a few tweaks would be changed from a romantic comedy to a crime thriller or even horror movie. Like if Dean was slightly less charming or not good looking and the music was a little different, if we changed the music a little bit, I feel like the movie would now need like Liam Neeson's set of specific skills.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they do those once in a while they'll do a YouTube trailer of a comedy movie, and the way you cut the clips and make like a trailer out of like a certain way you clip it and put music to it, you turn a comedy movie into a horror movie.
Yeah.
And they could definitely do that for this one, for sure.
Yeah. It's like human trafficking. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like I said, Overboard, I can't get enough. I love Overboard. Like, and I love seeing Goldie and Kurt together because they're real life partners. And I just so much nostalgia with Overboard for me. So I don't know.
Their chemistry
great.
is undeniable. Their chemistry is amazing.
And they look good together. They're a good couple together. And
For
I
sure.
loved revisiting 1987 with you, Doug, and this movie. So thank you so much. Until the next Retromade episode, we'll go back in time again the next time. But thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This was a pleasure. A lot of fun.
Well, thank you. Do you want to tell listeners one last time where they can find you?
Yeah, all of my stuff is housed on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network. So you search up Last of the Action Heroes. I'm on a few different shows there. I guest on others. So yeah, that's basically where you can find me. Rocky Minute. I don't know if mine and Craig's and Ryan's show even has a name, but I also do the Arnold podcast with Seco.
And everyone should check it out.
Oh yeah, it was the first. Craig had Slycast, Ryan had Going the Distance at the time, and I had Rocky Minute. So that the triumvirate coming together was the Last of the Action Heroes.
Yes, and
So,
it's a
yeah.
good trio. You guys are hilarious. I love your episodes together.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you all for listening or watching on YouTube. And please, if you haven't already, follow the show on wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And give us a review. We love it. I love it. Please, please, please. And keep the YouTube comments coming. Until next time, be kind. Rewind.